Have a look at the glory. This is ramen. This is the start of ramen. So I've actually never had ramen in my life, and my girlfriend Mel has. And I made this and she goes, this is amazing. And I was kind of stoked. But when I was asking her about what ramen is, she goes, it's kind of creamy, you can get kind of watery ones, and it's all about the broth cooking for hours and hours and hours over time. And then noodle masters make these amazing noodles and flick them out like this and just, you know, do this with the noodles so they get this rubbery consistency happening. And the soup is normally done with copious amounts of, you know, pig bones and chicken bones, and it's cooked, and there's a mastering art of it, of cooking it for just hours upon hours to get depths and depths of flavour. And there are ramen masters all around the world, which we celebrate you. Absolutely. Thank you for bringing this to us in Australia and in New Zealand and in Europe and in America and, you know, in Indonesia. You know, this is a moment. So what I've done is completely ignored all of that and come up with my own version. And it was Mel that said it was really good. So that made me happy. I thought, oh, I've got something here. So we're going to just run through quickly what I've got here. I've got some beautiful miso here, and I've got some water. I've got some cashew milk, some bok choy, some shiitake mushroom, fresh shiitake mushrooms, by the way, which is kind of really cool. And this little, what do you call this? The stalk is really quite hard, so I normally take them off, and they're lovely and fresh and beautiful. I've got some shredded cabbage, some avoki mushrooms, some tempeh, some carrots. I've got some noodles. I've got, and this could be buckwheat noodles, it can be a mixed rice noodle, it can be a bit of both. I've got some shallots and some chili. Now I need to make my broth. So come over this way, everybody, and you're going to add to your pot some water and some miso paste. And now we're going to start to build. We're building this incredible broth. It's so cool that I nailed it the first time. And she was impressed. When she's impressed, I'm like, okay, I'm onto something here. And Mel's a chef, and she has ramen all the time. She tells me, she goes, oh, we have it all the time. We have this like vegan ramen. We have this other ramen, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, cool, you're the one to tell me if I'm on the right track. Okay, so the miso is in the water. We want that to dissolve, and see how it's dissolved slowly, right? So I just kind of push around here and then get it into the water, and it just dissolved. It's beautiful. Or you can use a whisk, either. So we're going to add our miso, and then we're going to add some tamari. Add some tamari. And then we're going to get kind of really weird on us, all right? We're going to add some tahini. I know, right? It's kind of weird, but it works. Trust me. I don't know why it works. It just works. It's quite strange. Really quite strange.
Sesame is quite a common Japanese flavour, right?
Sesame is quite a common Japanese flavour. So why wouldn't I just use sesame oil? You know, interesting, right? Because I found that all that oil would sit on the surface, and I didn't really like that. Yum. Okay, grab a whisk. Give it a stir. Okay, so now I need some ginger, and I'm building my ramen broth, my makeup ramen broth that I bet all those amazing Japanese would be like, oh my God, what are you doing? No offense, this is not about judgment, this is just how I made it, and it tastes good, really good. I've got a fine grater here for this ginger, and I want it to be quite fine. As you can see, it's turning into mush, which is exactly what we want. Okay, let's give it a stir. It's on high heat. This is now, we taste it to see where we're at. Oh my God, that's amazing. All right, noodles in first. Still on high heat, and then we're going to add our shiitake mushrooms, which is going to give it some really yummy flavour into this. I love that I have fresh shiitake mushrooms. I find them to be really delicious and nutritious, and they're almost meaty Like when they're cooked, they're kind of rubbery. It was Ruben that was saying the other day, he's like, that flesh on those mushrooms is really quite meaty. And it's true, it is. These noodles are not going to take long. Just allow them to do their thing. All right, let's taste again, just to make sure we're on the right track. I want more ginger. Oh yeah, I definitely want more ginger. If you don't want to add ginger to it, you don't have to. It's up to you. All right, give it a stir. All right, let's just let those noodles do their thing. It's so tasty. I mean, how can water and some tahini, some miso paste and some tamari be that good? Like, really? With your noodles, just read the packet to see how long they cook for. Every packet of noodle is different. And one thing about gluten-free noodles as well is something I want to say here is that don't be mushing them up too much because they fall apart really quickly. You've just got to get them to the point, right, when they're just cooked, and then we'll add all the other ingredients in. Having another taste. It's been a couple of minutes. Beautiful. Oh my God, it's amazing. I'm going to add omoboshi plum vinegar. Why? Because it just needs that acidity, really does. And this is what's just going to bring it home, this broth. I tell you what, I've gone through a lot of this omoboshi plum vinegar throughout this series. It's such a key ingredient to have on your shelf. It changes everything. I just remember being introduced to it many, many years ago in a health retreat. It was the one vinegar that we were allowed to use, as well as apple cider vinegar. And I just remember feeling how amazing it was. And then when I met my girlfriend Yelena in Chicago, she uses a lot of it too. All right, noodles are nearly done. Great. Now we're going to add all our other ingredients. And I'm just going to kind of shimmy those mushrooms all in one area and the noodles in the middle. So I'm going to add some carrot. This is a really quick dish, a super, super quick dish. I'm going to add the tempeh to this area here. Mushrooms are there. I'm going to add my bok choy. Just going to put it around the side here. I'll let it just bathe in this beautiful broth. Yeah, I want it to be whole because bok choy just kind of falls apart, right? Just kind of disintegrates into these little leaves. I want like nice big pieces to float around. So when I'm slurping up my ramen with my chopsticks, I'm grabbing that bok choy as well. I don't want little pieces of it. Right, noodles are really cooked. Everything's in here. Carrots take seconds as well. Bok choy doesn't take long. What else do we have? The evoke mushrooms.
Do they evoke you a good feeling in you?
They evoke a good feeling in me. Yes, they do, Scotty. They definitely evoke a good feeling in me. This is going to go just to the side here. And everything's kind of bathing in this broth. It's soaking up all this goodness. And now I'm going to add my cashew milk. I know, right? It's really quite strange. This is going to add the creaminess and the more intense luxuriousness. Luxuriousness, is that a word? Luxuriousness. Oh yeah, that's what I want. Check it out, guys. See how it's gone really creamy? That's what I want. That's what I'm after. If you can't have cashew milk, you could have a soy milk, a coconut milk. Oh, that'd be lovely, wouldn't it? You could add
Hemp seed milk?
hemp seed milk, absolutely. What else? What other milks out there? And oh, you can't have nuts, right? A seed milk, a soy milk, a rice milk, a coconut milk. Oh yeah, I need more cashew. I want it to be extra creamy. So I'm adding 3/4 of a cup of this amazing cashew milk that I made fresh. And I'm going to turn it off because we are done. Those noodles are cooked. That bok choy is wilted down beautifully.
Hey, Sam, how do you make your cashew milk?
I make it with 1 cup of cashews and 5 cups of water. and I blend it, and then I put it into bottle. That's how I do it. But I wanted a thicker cashew milk, right? So I added 1 cup of cashews to 4 cups of water. But I need the rest of this for later, for our tea or for making chai tea or anything. But if you're only using a little bit of milk, and you only need, like I said, like I've used 2/4 of a cup of milk here, I would start with 1/4 cup of cashews and about 1 cup of water. And that'll give you enough for this dish. All right, over to our bench. Into the center of my bowl. Okay, now I'm going to add, this is why I keep it whole, because it just looks beautiful, right? Just like that. And it's already wilted down, and there's nothing nicer than slurping down some lovely bok choy, hey? Absolutely, exactly. All right, broth. We need the broth. All right, broth is in. Aboki mushrooms on each side. Also some tempeh. You're just arranging a dish. All right, we're done. And now it's time to add that beautiful purple cabbage to the mix. And as much cabbage as you can actually have is definitely, I'm so all up in this. And some beautiful shallots through this, and some gorgeous seaweed as well. Have a close look. And some chili. Like, definitely add some chili. And I've got some red and green. It's up to you if you want to add chili or not. I kind of do. I think that'd be nice. A couple of different colors of chili. This was very quick. It's putting in the plate that's kind of made it go such a long time for me because I'm just pedantic. And then we put some of these beautiful isms here. Just onto the side like this. This is a great little soup for when it's raining outside, which I think it is going to rain today actually. And it's a great little soup for the big kids and the small kids. There we go. Ramen my style, which is approved by Mel, which is epic. Yum! Ta-da! Remember the components? Don't forget to follow the packet instructions on your noodles. Very important. And remember how quick that was. Really interesting. This is a moment for you to really step into this whole foods and real foods lifestyle and create a value system, because the question really is what sort of old person do you want to be? And that's what I asked myself. So when I'm making this soup at home for me and for Scott and loving it, and then just thinking, I can't be bothered cooking tonight, am I just going to go to another ramen shop? No, I'm not. I'm going to find the best damn ramen that's going to match those whole food ingredients out there. And that just becomes my value system. That just becomes my GPS. You know, it's really interesting. A lot of people say to me, oh, how do you go when you travel, and how do you go with food and everything? I'm like, I don't have a problem. I just Google away, find the great places and the great artisans and the great little spots and farmers markets around the world, and I find them and I make it a huge, like a situation of epic glory, and I plant myself in the end result, and I have no stress. And that's the thing, right, with whole food. Enjoy this beautiful dish. Let me know how you go. Please comment below. I'd love to hear from you. Tell me what you thought about it. How did you go? Did you put other vegetables in there? Did you make nice nice different patterns? Did you not add the chili? What noodles did you use? Yeah, let me know how you went, and let's celebrate all those amazing ramen masters out there and thank them to bring us to this moment today with that little bit of tahini and that little bit of cashew milk. I know it's bizarre, right? But it makes it. I'll see you in the next video. Bye. When you're surrounded by whole real food and you step into this lifestyle that you're doing now, and thank you for doing that, you will be so much more active, and you'll have so much more energy, and you won't have those food coma crashes like you do with other food, and something emerges from you right inside, right up. It's quite amazing to witness when I see people going into this kind of lifestyle of whole real food. It's quite extraordinary, and you are doing exactly that, and I'm super proud of you. You're amazing.